Welcome back to Breadcrumbs for Life. This is Frances, where simple steps bring real results. We're talking about hormones today. And before you click stop, I want you to think about those for a little while. You're either going to deal with them or you have dealt with them, or maybe you don't even understand them, but we're going to talk about them today. Finding harmony through hormones. You don't have to think that they're horrible, because hormones can feel horrible at times. But the more we understand them, the better we can accept them or work through them or do what we need to not feel so miserable. So it can definitely affect our life balance, because when our hormones are in harmony, everything falls into place. But when they're off, it feels like our whole body is just out of sync. Our mood, our energy, our stress levels, they're all tied to what's happening inside of us. And for many women over 40, hormonal shifts are part of the natural aging process. And let me tell you, I've felt that myself. I've had days where I just felt off and tired and irritable and overwhelmed and didn't really know why. And it wasn't until I understood what was going on with my hormones that I realized that true connection between energy, mood, and overall sense of well-being comes from our hormones. So how do we understand the effect they have on our sense of harmony? We can break it down into 3 areas. Our emotional balance, that's like where the hormones like serotonin and dopamine and cortisol are all key players in how we feel day to day. When they're in balance, we have that emotional stability. But when they're out of whack, it can lead to mood swings, irritability, and that feeling of being totally out of sync with ourselves. And unfortunately, other people see that. The second thing is our energy and our motivation. Our energy levels are controlled by hormones like the thyroid hormones and the cortisol. And when these hormones are balanced, we feel motivated and energetic. But when they're not, we have fatigue and lack of motivation. And then finally, our stress management. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it's probably one of the most well-known. But when it's consistently elevated due to stress, we can feel overwhelmed and disconnected from our sense of peace and harmony. And that's why managing stress is such a critical part of maintaining hormonal balance. So what can we do to support and restore harmony, dealing with our hormones? There's a couple of simple things that I've found that really help. And you'll say, oh yeah, I know this stuff. But the thing is, do we do it? Do we do it daily? Because these daily action steps will really play a part in helping us keep everything in balance. If we miss a day or forget or get distracted, it's not going to help us. So these are just habits to work on every day. Small habits, like breadcrumbs, little bits every day. So the first one is exercise. That can definitely regulate your cortisol and support overall hormonal health. Even if it's just 10 minutes walking every day, some gentle stretching. Movement is just essential. The second thing is eating, being mindful about what you eat. A balanced diet that's rich in healthy fats and fiber and protein that will support your hormone production and reduce the risk of imbalances. Avoiding sugar spikes and crashes can help stabilize your mood and energy levels. So look for the good foods to eat. You can find a lot of that information on the internet, but introducing those good foods will also help you with your hormones. The third, stress management. Find a time to relax and practice deep breathing or yoga or meditation to keep your cortisol levels in check. You may have a morning routine. You may do something in the afternoon or in the evening, or you may want to do it 2 or 3 times a day. You'll know when you need it. But the thing is to set up a time to practice it to manage your stress. So this helps your mind, but it also supports your hormones as well. And then sleep. Never underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. A lot of times I thought, I don't need all this sleep. 5 hours is good for me. But it was a big difference between 5 and 7 or 5 and 8. Sleep is essential. It is crucial for hormone regulation. When we rest, our hormones rest, and we wake up feeling more balanced and more refreshed. So those 4 things: exercise, eating, managing stress, and sleep. Obvious things, right? Obvious things. But we need to do them. We need to schedule them. We need to plan them. And I just want to leave you with some reflective questions to consider. Have you noticed your mood changing? Have you noticed your mood and your energy fluctuate throughout the month? How do you manage stress during those times when you feel off balance? Do you lash out at people or avoid people? How do you manage that stress? And what small step can you take to support your hormone health and find more harmony in your life? What's a small step you can take today? Just remember, when we understand our hormones, how they impact our well-being, and know that we can take small proactive steps, then we can begin to restore balance and feel at peace with our bodies. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'll check in with you tomorrow, and don't forget to leave a breadcrumb and make a difference. This is Frances.